So you decide to get lean, and this time it's going to be different. You're going to clean up your diet, you're going to get to the gym consistently, you're going to stop self-sabotaging on the weekends, and you're going to take this seriously. If that's you, welcome to the club. That's the same approach that most people will take these days, just to end up falling off track within a few weeks or at best a couple of months. And that's why in this video, I want to share with you 3 things that I would do differently compared to most people if I was starting right now at about 25 or 35% body fat. This will help you get this done and finally be a part of that small percentage of people who are actually able to reach their goals. With that being said, let's dive right into it. So the first thing that I would do is set up a minimum effective routine. And the way I would go about that is by applying a mental model called the Occam's razor. And that's the idea that when you're trying to understand something, getting rid of all the unnecessary information is one of the fastest ways to get there. And the reality of fat loss is that 80-90% of your results will come from just a handful of things. You don't need to know biochemistry or how every cell in your body processes energy to be able to lose body fat. The 5 most important things you need to know are how to create a calorie deficit through healthy nutrition and staying active, how to get enough protein on a daily basis, how to lift weights consistently, ideally 3 times per week or more, how to get enough sleep so you're well recovered, and 5, how to track your progress to make sure that you're moving in the right direction. That's it. Until you know how to do these 5 things, everything else is a distraction. And the longer you stay distracted, the longer it's going to take you to reach this goal. And there are plenty of distractions out there. Fat burning supplements, some HIIT workout, or how someone lost 10 pounds or 4.5 kilos in their first week of dieting, or some other magic way to lose a lot of weight fast. But you gotta remember, most of those people, if not all of them, will quit and give up within the next 1 or 2 months. The long-term success rate for dieting is horrible, and if you find yourself on the same side like the majority and doing exactly what they're doing, you're likely going to share that same outcome. So instead of chasing the most popular diet or getting overwhelmed by trying 10 different things, simplify your approach. Go back to basics. Remove the snacks and take it 1 meal at a time. 3 meals per day, 21 meals per week, and then dumb it down. Create 6-7 different variations of a meal that's lower calorie, higher in protein, and has more vegetables, and you've already fixed 60 to 80% of your diet. The same goes for your training. Show up 3 times per week, full body workouts, 45 minutes per session, 4 or 5 different exercises, you progressively overload, you push yourself, and that's more than enough. You can always do more later if you want to. Consistently good beats occasionally perfect. The priority at the beginning of every fitness journey is to get that snowball effect. And from my experience, there's no motivation more powerful than seeing positive changes when you know that what you're doing is sustainable. When you feel like you can just keep doing it, that's when you know that you really nailed it. Now, the second thing that I would do differently compared to most people is I would make sure that I have a fallback plan in place for the absolute worst days. Because anybody can stick to their diet when you're motivated, there's no cravings, the scale is going down, there's no hunger, and everything is going well. The same with the gym. You can show up when you're feeling good, you have the time, life isn't getting in the way. That's easy, but that's not how this journey is going to go. And if you can only see progress when everything is going great, you won't get very far on this journey. Because falling off track isn't a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And if you're unprepared, those instances can end up doing a lot of damage. Because once you lose momentum, then you might be thinking, why even bother since I already messed up? And then one bad day turned into a bad week, and then a month later you're wondering, how did I just gain 15 pounds or 7 kilos? The fallback plan is there to help you minimize the damage and get back on track as soon as possible. If you let your excuses or your emotions drive your behavior once you're already down and you've already made a mistake, well, then you're likely to end up doing much more damage, and it will be way harder to mentally get back on track. And the goal here isn't to break some kind of record or snap back to 100% immediately. The goal is to regain positive momentum. Can't track all your macros? Just make sure you eat a protein source with every meal and then intuitively try to manage your portion sizes for the rest. Blew it for dinner? Skip breakfast the next day. Replace it with a protein shake. Ran out of time, couldn't get your workout done? Do 3-4 sets of push-ups and hit the like button. Can't get your 10,000 steps per day? Just do 1,000 steps more. That's 10 minutes of walking. Anything other than nothing counts toward helping you get back on track. And one of the biggest factors that I've seen determine someone's long-term success is their ability to do things when they don't feel like doing them. And on those really bad days, when you're feeling emotionally down, is exactly when you practice this ability and you become a master at it. Now, the third thing that I would do if I was just starting to ensure my success in this journey is set up a very robust accountability system. And the first part of the system would be focused on self-accountability, holding myself to a higher standard. And one of the easiest ways we can all do this is by using tools to track things like our body weight, step count, workouts, and most importantly, the diet. Whenever I run into someone who refuses to track things or makes up excuses for why it's not necessary, I know that this person isn't taking their goals seriously. You can't tell me that you know how to estimate calories and macros in a meal if the longest you ever tracked was a week. Zero chance. If you can't be honest with yourself, you won't get very far in this journey. Being 1 foot in, 1 foot out is simply not good enough. And then the second part of the system is adding external accountability. And if you find that you're someone who's procrastinating, you're dabbling around, you're kind of wishy-washy, having someone else to hold you accountable is one of the most effective tools you can leverage, because it's not just you anymore. Now there's someone else who's monitoring your progress, who's setting deadlines and goals, and most importantly, calling you out when you fail to follow through on things. When you're flying solo, there's nobody checking on you. You can keep starting fresh on Monday, you can keep reinventing imaginary rules that consistently get broken. With external accountability, those rationalizations and excuses will get challenged. And you don't have to make this very complicated. Find a walking buddy to help you get your steps in. Connect with a friend that also wants to quit alcohol. Join online groups. Share your journey publicly. Put yourself out there. Find a coach that will help you hold you accountable for your diet and your training. Commit to a realistic goal and build a support system around it. That will make the process a lot easier. You'll be given feedback, you'll have people to share success with, and consistency will no longer be an issue. Now, the other thing that's going to help you be more consistent is making sure hit that subscribe button below. Details for coaching, if you want to work with me, if you want to get that accountability, are all in the description below, so check those out, and I'm going to see you in the next video.